What's going on, y'all? So this is Twilight photography editing in Adobe Lightroom 2026. This is Lightroom Classic. It's probably the best one out of the two to do like bulk editing. Make sure you know which folder you're gonna choose. For me, it's gonna be Twilight, the Twilight sample photos, and this is basically during Twilight I take a bunch of photos. I do a 3 bracket, so it's 3 different photos at different, at different shutter speeds, different light. I'm gonna go import. It's gonna import everything. Give it a second there. So with this, whenever you do, all this bulk editing, you want to edit everything, the fastest possible. We are going to try to choose the median as far as like lighting. So we don't want to go we don't want to click the one that's too dark or too bright, because we don't want to lose any information in the dark areas or any information in the bright areas. So we want to go for the medium. So in this case would be, I would say, the first one on every 3 photos. So on your keyboard, if you have a Mac, it's going to be P. You're going to click P, and it's going to do this flag selection. So it's gonna flag this one. I'm gonna go with 4, click P. This one here, P. And I already know which ones are the first ones, the median, the 1 out of 3. So right here, I'm gonna click 15 only because there's no sky. So it doesn't matter if it's too bright in this case. So I'm gonna click 15, P, 18P, no sky. 21, click P, and I'm just kind of gonna go around and select the best ones, the ones that I want to edit. So just going in, P, bam, 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 bam. It should be, once you get enough experience, it should be pretty quick. Once everything's flagged, we're gonna go to develop, and then right here where it says filters, you're gonna go to flagged. So notice here I have 159 photos, and that's all together. This is my Twilight shoot, 159 photos. Once I go to flagged, it's gonna show me just the ones that I obviously flagged. So this is gonna be 53 total. Definitely a lot more better than 159. I don't want to edit 159 all night, so that's pretty good. It's just basically just the best ones. I'm gonna go through and show you a few of the edits because most of it's going to be the same. So let's start with either of these two, 8 or 9. They're about the same angle, so I'm going to choose probably the best one, which in this case I'm going with 9, only because this little section here, you can see one of the solar lights turned on. So I'm going to go with that one. So here we go. First off, I want to make sure I bulk edit some things before I start doing individuals. So I'm going to go to Command A, and that'll select everything. See, everything's selected, pretty cool. Now from there, I'm going to go turn this auto sync on. So click that, auto sync. That way everything will synchronize as I go editing. It'll make the same edits for everything. Go to shadows. Let's go shadows, pretty much 90%. Bam. And let that do its thing. Shadows updated, cool. Highlights, we're gonna go to like 25, maybe 10% or whatever this is right here. Bam. Cool. We'll bring up the exposure just a little bit, and I'm just adjusting it for this particular shot. But from my experience, most of the shots are pretty much the same. So all we have to do is just go in. Once we go one by one, just tweak it up a little bit. But this is just a general editing for everything. So we're gonna go contrast up. We're gonna go vibrance up. We want to make sure our Twilight shoot is nice and colorful, because that's pretty much the point. Like the sky is colorful, like the whole property is colorful. All right. Now after that's been done, we're gonna go here into this the graph. What do you call it? This curves, and we're gonna go probably about 80% up here. Click that. And then another one about 30% right there. So we're gonna have 2 dots. So the top one, let's just let this update. So there you go. The top one here on this curves, we're gonna go slightly down, right? And then this bottom one, we're gonna go slightly up. And that'll just kind of make sure everything's a little bit more balanced. That way it's not too dark or too bright. Alrighty, so that is the bulk editing. Oh, one thing more too, make sure that you click this constraint crop. Make sure it goes on all of them because you're gonna need that. So we're gonna click constraint crop. All right, everything updated. And if am I forgetting anything? No, cool. All right, so we're gonna undo this auto sync, undo. Now we're just focused on this one shot. All right, so what I like to do is let's start with the sky. And you know what? That might be something that I do to everything. So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's uncheck the stuff that don't have skies, like these right here. So we're gonna go command, hold command, click, and maybe these two, maybe not. I guess there's a little bit of sky. So just look for the areas that don't have skies. Sky, no sky. Cool. There's a few right here. Bam. Well, not that one. This one, yeah. Okay. So all the selected ones have skies. All right. Now we're just gonna do auto sync back on, and then we're gonna go up here, click on the selection area, or I guess it's called masking. Now we're gonna mask just the sky. So click that, and that's gonna turn on our AI detecting sky right here. Bam, it's detecting the skies. So each photo is gonna have its own sky selected. Just let that do its thing. And just remember, just reminder, AI does use internet. So if you don't have internet, unfortunately, you won't be able to use AI. It's just like an advanced kind of tool that needs internet to be able to distinguish things and differences and stuff like that. So just make sure your internet's on, or Wi-Fi, or sometimes I use the phone. All right, there you go. Everything's selected. Now we're gonna auto sync. So we're gonna click this off. That way we don't have any adjustments done to everything. So now just focused on this certain sky. We're gonna go contrast up, nice and contrasty. There you go. If you notice, if you put up the contrast, not only does it adjust the highs and the lows, but it also gives more color. So I like that. That was pretty cool. I'm gonna bring down the highlights just a little bit, that we can see this lost area. Now it's found. Go up on a little bit on the exposure, and add more color since it's Twilight. Let's go saturation up. Bam. There you go. All right, now we're gonna go back to the regular edits here. Looking pretty good. Let me just adjust the shadows all the way up. And then now we're gonna go to transform. Now this is important, transform tool, because it's just the perspective. I mean, you always wanna make sure that someone perceives the house as, as almost perfect. You don't want them to think of the house as, oh, it's a crooked house because it's a crooked photo. I know that's a little absurd to think about, but sometimes people think it. Once you're live, people can see everything as straight because they're live, they're right there. But in photos, if it's a crooked photo or it's like a warped photo, it's not gonna look good. So let's adjust the lines. And right now, if you notice, I'm just focused on this center part. It's the whole center of the photo. So this section here, right in the middle, that's where you want to focus first. So you want to adjust the straight lines of the walls and everything, and you have to attach it to the graph, which is right there, and then that's about right there. Now I'm gonna zoom out, and now I'm gonna focus on like the sides here. So we're gonna use the vertical transform. I mean, it's pretty straight, so not much needed, and just go up slightly. And that actually might have been too much. Going down, let me zoom back out, make sure right here, and I'm just looking at the graph. You see how everything's basically aligned to the graph. This here, it's a little bit sideways, so let's just go back one. Okay, perfect. There you go. Now I'm gonna crop, and I'm not exactly cropping, I'm just gonna shift everything a little bit lower. Make sure the horizon is in between this middle area, this 1, 2, 3 squares. That's the horizon. Close it out. That's the main focus. And there you go. That's a cool little edit first. Now I'm gonna go on to maybe one of these guys. Let's click the best one. And I'll probably go with that one only because it's more centered. So I only have to do a few adjustments since I already did all this middle section with the sync, auto sync. So let's just go back to the sky. Sky's already selected. Now I'm just going to make it a little bit more standouty. So how it looks right now, I'm going to bring it slightly up like that. And now I'm going to adjust the contrast to there. And I'm going to adjust the saturation to right there. And let's take advantage of that bulk editing. So let's go sync. Let's turn the sync back on. And you know what? We're going to turn the saturation on to everything because I'm noticing that I might just do this to everything. So let's just do it right now. So let's just readjust it to like right there. So now they're all going to have saturation and then they're all going to have contrast. So let's just readjust this one just to reset. So it's going to be 50, around 50. And that's pretty good. Just the settings sync in. All right, now I'll turn this back off, and looks pretty good. Let me just adjust the. Let's go back here. Let's make it a little bit brighter, right there. That's pretty good. Now we're going to do transform. And like I said before, we're going to go to the center area, which is right here. Zoom in. And then I guess this door is going to be our focus at the moment. So we're going to rotate and adjust to the graph. So right there, you can see this whole line is adjusted to the graph. Okay, just a little bit sideways. There you go. All right, center is straight. Now we're going to adjust the sides. So let's go, let's focus on like this area here. So there's a line here and there's a line here. So let's adjust that with the vertical. So we're going to adjust it to the graph. Here we go. Coming down. And that's pretty much straight right there. Let's undo some of the rotation just a little bit. Let's go 7 there. Cool. Now we can fix this vertical again. So back down just a little bit right there. Bam. Now you can see a difference from before and after. Cool. Now I'm just gonna go in the crop here and just kind of center it again. It is a little too low horizon. So bam, right there. That's pretty good. Look at that. Look at that photo. Alrighty. So that one's done. I'm gonna go on to so you're just gonna be going one by one and making sure you do all those adjustments. Don't forget the transform. Don't forget the sky. So let's go to this one here. This one's a little bit darker. I'm gonna go with this one, 41. Super dark. And if you notice, all the same adjustments are here on the side. But since this photo was taking like probably 15 minutes after Twilight, it's a lot darker. So we're just gonna undo some of this stuff. So let's bring exposure back up just a little bit to like right there. That's beauty. Let's go shadows all the way up. Okay, that's a lot more soothing to look at. The sky, I don't think it needs any adjusting because we already fixed the saturation and contrast when we did the bulk edit. So let's go back here. The sky looks pretty good. Now we just need the vertical or the transform. So we're just gonna go to the center, which would be this area here. So click. So this area needs to be rotated into adjusting the graph. So here we go. Turn a little bit, and I think I'm focusing on this middle one here. So as you can see, graph is pretty straight. So let's keep that. Now I'm gonna go to like this area, and we're gonna straighten that with the vertical. So now we don't touch the rotate, we're just gonna go vertical, and then we're gonna go backwards until it fits the graph right there. Cool, let's zoom out. So it does look like it's caving in from the bottom, so we have to readjust the center again. Always remember the center and then the sides. So yeah, so it looks like the center kind of got a little messed up, so we're gonna readjust it to the graph again. So there you go, now it's readjusted. And now let's focus on right here again, vertical. Let's undo some of that vertical to there. Alrighty, look at that. Yeah, everything looks good. I am going to do this lens correction here just to get rid of this warp. There's a little bit of a warp here going on with this wall. So we want to make sure it's aligned to the graph. And you see how the warping kind of looks circular. So we're going to undo that by going higher. So unwarp until it's a little bit straighter, which would be like right there. And then back to the transform, you can see it kind of this is kind of caving this way to the right. So let's undo a little bit right there. Cool. Look at that, nice and straight, beautiful picture. Let me just readjust this all the way to the bottom. Now I did take this photo a little bit higher to get some sky, but as long as you see the horizon within this middle section, you'll be all right. So we're gonna close. Let me remove my mom. She's doing a cool little sunset photo, but she doesn't need to be in the photo. So let's remove, cool, apply. And yeah, pretty much just go one by one, make sure everything's adjusted. If you want to see more specific edits, let me know. Once everything is edited here, it's the same process one by one. Obviously you got 40 or 53 photos, so this took me about maybe 2 to 3 minutes per photo. So just do the math there. It'll be about an hour to edit all those. But once you're done, you're gonna go to right click, export, bam. You're gonna choose, make sure to click specific folder. You go to choose the folder you want to export to, and then we're going to rename this the property address, and then obviously Twilight, bam. And like before, always make sure you keep this at 4K. Limit file size to 4K, and this is 4,000 bits, kilobits, 4,000 kilobits, which is 4 megabytes. So you're gonna limit it to 4 megabytes, and that just helps you with uploading to the MLS. And this is more like real estate agent talk. They want to, in order to help them out, we want to make sure this is not a big file. And then we're gonna click export, and everything will export into that folder, just like you're looking for. And if you have any more questions or any want to follow, leave a comment on this video. Anything that I forgot, or maybe your own process of editing, let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys later.